Thank you very much, Nomad, as we have this best of 3 underway between Nouns and BB Team. Already a boundless strike on to save. He will survive on that glorious horse of his. Cinderin, what do you think of this matchup?
Oh, this will work.
Oh, hang on. Did they get 4 bounty runes? Oh, boy. That's not... sorry, that didn't really answer your question, but that's a pretty rare thing at this level, that one team manages to get all 4. I was like, how did BB just get a 1k net worth lead here? And, well, on top of that, they also have 250 extra gold in the Alchemist, so they're off to a good start. The matchup itself, I think the panel was pretty spot on. You know, the lineup of BB here can play extremely fast if the laning stage goes well, so Nouns need to be careful with not getting rolled over. However, we did see a similar situation in one of their games against Gaming Gladiators yesterday, where they managed to do exactly that with some good early movements to solve the problem in that individual game. So they've shown that they are capable of playing against high pace, and if their own lanes go in a stable manner, it should be an exciting game.
Yeah, and I think Nouns, despite losing their last series, I feel like feels like they're on the up and up, right? They have a lot of momentum. I think a lot of people were counting them out, and then BB Team on the other side, they're struggling with the same issues that have plagued them from time immemorial, Cinder, and even with Pure on the team. Apparently getting rid of him doesn't change anything. In fact, he's on Tundra and he's destroying right now. But it feels like they always come in with a lead, and you just never feel confident that they're going to bring it home, you know? It's just such a strange thing to happen over a 2-year period for the same team.
Yeah, the thing is, if they ever figure that out, they will be
the best in the world, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Legitimately.
This is a team whose Achilles heel is, how to say, losing an important game and then spiraling. And the way they lose that important game will most often be from a very advantageous position where they just mess something up and drop the ball and then don't recover. That's definitely been a bit of a mentality problem, I would say, for them is the main thing for the better part of a year. But the good news for them is, in the last series, the one against Talon that they played earlier, they lost Game 2 after being really far ahead, and then they stomped them in Game 3. Yeah. So in that series, they showed that resilience, the ability to reset completely.
You would think over time, throwing that many leads away, you kind of get used to it, and you build a resistance of sorts.
Yeah, it does sound like an interesting scientific study. How might need to get some papers written on this.
Yep, absolutely. A lot of damage being applied to BB Team here in this bot lane. Better be careful with that Monkey King. That is a hero that can absolutely take out.
Oh, big damage save.
Boundless strike onto save. He's going to pop the Fairy Fire, so we'll survive.
So what we didn't talk about, they showed prior to the game during the draft, they showed that every single Chen so far in this tournament, I think, has started with the summon convert of the Satyr. And this game is no exception. So Chen, at his whim, can just summon a mana burning creep, effectively, and that is arguably in most cases the most lane-focused creep you can have. So obviously the reason why you take it, save. Yep. Blinding light, but
eventually
it
does happen. Yeah.
So what's the blind chance again on level? It's 40% on all levels. So okay.
And the fact that he gets that kill without even Jingu as a skill on the hero,
yeah,
pretty interesting. I mean, that just goes to show how amazing Tree Dance is with this facet. It is. We already talked about it the other day, but unbelievably good, as we're going to see a concoction onto Gunnar with the acid spray and the blood grenade on top. He is taking a lot of damage, and that should finish him off. So
he's a goner.
Up tying the game 1-1. Very good joke, Cinderin.
Fly will try to open up the small camp here. Interested in finding his way to some pulls. So as the panel was talking about, the Chen versus Beastmaster match was a classic counter pick, and it should give a very good start to Yuma. That kill on the Coddle, I think, was honestly unexpected, given the circumstances. You said there was no Jingu and Chen's creep was actually dead, but they just barely scraped by and got that. So that's the good news here for Nouns. Aside from that, mid lane is pretty much a wash between the Invoker and the Razor. I think that's the expected outcome on that one. And then, well, since Alchemist has started being able to just start with 250 extra gold and then got 4 bounty runes, I think Gunnar is not expected to win this lane.
Yeah, I would say so. Probably accurate.
But he's tied with Beast. So I guess from the side of Nouns so far, it's looking okay, and I think BB Team are very happy as well.
Right, and we've been seeing this build on Centaur pretty much every game that I've seen, where they don't even bother with double edge until probably this next level here. Actually, maybe even not. it's typically the level 3 and retaliate to be able to farm consistently, which means you're just not going to be getting kills in this lane. It's all about survivability and eventual farm.
I think it's the right mindset as well, that you're never going to be in a position to play this lane aggressively until Razor rotates, and that will be a while, so play for yourself. This is the selfish centaur build, basically.
Now he's got Jingu. Miero has to be careful. Save is there with the blinding light just in time.
It looked like he was about to go for one more swing as he got blinded away, but just barely outranged there, but he's going to try again.
Yeah, he's trying.
Yuma's hungry.
Miero tries to cut down the trees. That was a good attempt. Blood Grenade going to slow him down a bit. 3 stacks of Jingu on Miero.
Jeez, he is in
There's
there.
the Boundless to activate it. Not enough to get the kill, but still. Miero is really hurting here.
He knows the limits. He likes playing on 5% health for 10 seconds straight, apparently.
Yep.
Well, he didn't die, so...
Yet.
Yes, that is correct. We'll be stacking up his Ancient Hero to a triple stack on the Beastmaster. Obviously, one of the... This is something BB team have done a very good job at. They also were putting a lot of emphasis on this when they played the Caudal Storm game earlier today. Tons of stacks. And this time it's both Save as well as Miero making stacks in 2 different camps. We'll see if Nouns, arguably with the best invasion hero in Dota right now in that Monkey King, will try to deal with that at all, if they're able to.
Arguably.
Yeah?
Is it an argument?
You could make a case for a hero like Storm, you know, if you have vision, you can always jump him.
Copy.
He's
going to get punished really hard by BB team. And Miero
with a celebratory tornado. He was trying to KS it, but Saika hit too hard. So, unfortunately for him, his carry gets the kill. A very sad outcome, of course.
Yep, very sad.
If you're a mid hero, you want everything.
Mind Flare is the biggest quality of life to Nyx in the history of Dota. I'll say that right now. This hero can farm anytime now. What do you think of the current Nyx in this meta?
I think the hero's really good. I think he's significantly underpicked in this tournament. He makes a lot of sense as a counterpick to Ench, of course, which is why they ran it. But I believe the win rate of it that we saw was quite good, but the number of games was very low. I suppose the main problem teams are facing is if you don't pick this into specifically Ench or Chen, maybe your laning is just too weak and compensating for it gets too hard. But that said, I still think it's reliable a lot of the time, and especially we're seeing the rise of Invoker, right? This hero was not played particularly much in the first few days of the tournament. Now he's starting to really see play. Sunstrike plus Nyx can kill any hero on the map.
Yeah.
It's even better than it used to be because Nyx now, as a support, reliably goes Dagon and does a lot more damage with Mind Flare. So if you remember back in the day what kills you could find with Nyx Invoker, you can almost add 50% to the health of heroes you can kill. So, I don't know, perhaps that's the strategy we'll see teams run later on if they can get the laning to work.
Yeah, that's always been his issue, is the laning. But you just don't lane now. You just go jungle. Easy peasy.
Yeah.
Which begs the question, why is Pudge not being played in this meta? My goodness. What a great hero.
Waiting for Boxy to run his signature I'm leaving lane minute 2 and going jungle play.
That was epic.
They crushed that game.
Indeed.
It's
Well, GPK. He's in the cover of his Ghost Walk right now. Might be going through the gate, but he's going to run into Fly. Or is it the other way around? Yuma on the trees as well. The EMP already being shown, as Fly will likely just be sacrificed. He actually dies to a neutral creep, and instead all the damage being applied to Mr. Nightfall. He's getting all this regen, but it's not enough. He will drop. Unfortunately for Nouns, though, I think they're going to lose both cores in Yuma and Gunner in the process. So they lose 3 heroes, although again, 1 denied by neutrals.
Yeah, this was, the panel didn't talk about this, but a really big upside to Stampede is that you, as Chen, you can just Stampede right into the neutral camp and die. That apparently was important there. Oh, he just narrowly dodges every spell there on Lelis.
Very nice.
But yeah, good defensive play there from BB team, really covering up their Alchemist in this safe lane. Which is going to be necessary. This is a textbook Nouns play.
Lelis.
Well, he dodged every spell and then he walked back into them. Oh well.
Yeah, well, he wasn't expecting Banana Boat team to come back into the triangle area, so they stuck around.
Yep. It's Yeah, I was gonna say nouns. I think one of the things they did really well against Gaming Gladiators in the game that they won in that series was rotating from the safe lane through the gate. And I think BB team have prepared for this. They've studied the movements that nouns like to go for, and they were exceptionally ready for that rotation. They were already in position when Chen came through, as you said, and they were the ones to make the first move instead. Now that's probably not going to stop.
10-minute rune.
Okay.
Looks like it'll be top as the haste is bottled by Copy. Tornado already used from GPK, so he won't have a way to actually dispel this haste if they want to try to run at him, but that's a tall order at this point of the game. Looks like he's going for the Witchblade on the Invoker, while Gunnar Blade Mail this time around, which a lot of time we've talked about this before, but the Blade Mail against heroes with the uncontrollable outburst of damage, such as Windrunner.
Yep.
Not really seeing that here, unless you want to count Enchantress late game, I guess.
Something we haven't really talked about with that item is it's also a farming item on Centaur, right? It's
true. Yeah.
You farm faster, you get bigger throughout the game. It adds some utility in certain situations in team fights. It makes you a less appealing target in general. But I would agree, this is not the best game for it that we've seen. But it just goes to show, I think every game of Centaur we've cast this tournament, the player has got Blade Mail. So maybe it's just that good that the circumstances don't even really matter. And you just do grab this first, and then you have the two build paths with either being a mega tank with auras, or you get the dagger, or both, of course, if you're having a good enough game. And yeah, Gunnar is doing all right. This is a very even game for all intents and purposes, especially considering the Dire started with 4 bounty runes. They haven't really converted that to
right
more.
into the center if he comes to the low ground.
Yeah, it's very close to being spotted. Not quite.
Right on the outskirts.
And Chen is doing Chen things, pushing this tower. Trying to force rotation, but BB team are not overreacting.
I mean, for a Nyx assassin this game, who's your... I mean, obviously you're going to need assistance from your team to get a kill, but who can you kill at this stage of the game with a Vendetta +1?
I think Nyx plus Monkey King can absolutely kill the Coddle and the Ench, I think. Should be possible kills. The rest, probably a little bit too tanky and too much counterplay.
Yeah.
I guess with Alchemist, it's also a little bit down to luck with his Talisman of Evasion. As that gets turned into Radiance, it gets a bit more reliable. But, oh, Gunnar is going to poke Psych up here. Just actually will bait out the Chemical Rage. I don't know if they're going to use that for anything. Oh, Miro!
Oh, Copy's going to be found. Primal split, the Hand of God to keep him a little bit safer. He's going to try to fight this through. The Stampede is going to follow through, though. And now the cover of Fly is there, and they're going to turn everything on the Miero instead, so a nice turnaround for nouns. You can see Yuma looking for additional kills here. GPK will just casually walk away. That's now a Maelstrom for Yuma.
Yeah, this is a funny dynamic, the Chen versus Invoker. Because they kind of offset each other, right? They were expecting that Sunstrike to be enough to get that kill, but then Hand of God heals basically the exact amount that the Sunstrike does. And then you're back to square one with, could Beastmaster have soloed that Razor? Clearly not. There was even an Illuminate over top, but it's level 1, so.
Yeah. And now the stacking. I mean, this should be very obvious that this is going to happen at some point in the game.
Yeah.
And we'll see if nouns do anything about it. The problem is they need several heroes to deal with that. And meanwhile, Gunnar is going to be ganked. By
trouble. No Stampede.
Yeah, Concoction is coming for him as well. This is going to be a very easy cleanup for the battle bots.
There is that kid. There we go. All right, GPK don't miss twice.
Well, meanwhile, Yuma, he does actually disrupt this Ancient stack a bit. Uses his Wukong's command. Not going to lead to an initial kill. Not sure how many creeps they ended up stealing there, if any.
He's fast.
Yep,
he's got that Vendetta facet.
Can go through terrain.
Save.
Just going for the kill.
Oh, faking out twice.
Mind Flare wasn't enough, but hey, if you can get your Monkey King a kill at this stage, and maybe the 14-minute Wisdom as well, it looks like it'll be a trade, though.
Yeah.
They're scanning it out just to double check.
I wonder what the ratio is in the games in this tournament between the 14-minute Wisdoms. How many you've taken on your side and how many on the other. I feel like the 7-minute ones, the teams get their own. And anecdotally, I would say on the 14-minute one, there's more trades on the opposite side than you being on your own side.
Yeah.
I guess it's just a natural part of the movement out on the map with your first aggressive moves that you're likely to play around the other side, but it's kind of interesting to see that that's been a development, because this didn't used to be the case a month ago.
Yeah, and Wisdom Runes have been extremely powerful, especially the first two, for many months now.
Yep.
So it is interesting to see kind of a late development to this during TI. As Blink getting pretty close for Gunner. As you can see, Miero has his Aghanim Scepter now, so the Drums of Slom online.
Very fitting for a BB Team Beastmaster to get the Bongo Bongo Ags. Makes a lot of sense.
They are Beastmaster believers.
True that. One of the teams that play it the most, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, it's been a pretty strong hero. I feel like it must have a good win rate at this tournament. As you can see, Nightfall with the Radiance, and going to be going for the Manta into eventual AC. So not opting for a Blink, it seems, at least not yet. Do you think that's something that is going to be for the Beastmaster? Looks like that will be, actually.
Well, he is queuing on up on Alk.
50% win rate. That's actually surprising. It feels like it's been better.
I think getting Dagger on both heroes actually makes a ton of sense this game. You could argue that you could bypass one of them because you have a Quaswex Invoker, but the nature of these fights is going to be extremely explosive, so if you're the one who can...
Ouch!
Well, that'll do.
It'll happen from time to time. Of course, you're forcing so many sentries to be built. That's what you tell your team in the pubs as Nyx Assassin.
This is a second death in 16 minutes. That's
he's doing fine.
Completely
Absolutely
fine for Nyx.
And I think this facet that they take these days, where you can walk through terrain for the first 10 or so seconds, has been enormous for the hero.
Yeah,
now
because
coming from weird angles.
Not only that, but because it gives you flat move speed, right? It just sets your move speed to haste. Nyx can choose not to buy boots, which is what's happening here, right?
Yeah.
So Lelis is going 2 nulls into straight Dagon.
Looks like Nouns want to try to contest this. They're going to Boundless Strike onto the Beastmaster. The Impale to follow. He's dead. Down goes Miero as Save is being chased by Copy, showing that newly minted BKB. Nightfall does get off the concoction, though, as Lelis should be able to finish this himself, just with a casual right-click from the Vendetta. Nice job from Nouns, capitalizing on the attempted Roche take, it looked like, from Beyond Burger Team.
Yeah, and they're going to steal it, too.
Yeah.
So this is the biggest play of the game here. T was talking about on the panel how Nouns, yeah, you can give up the first Roche, but you absolutely need the second one. How about you just steal the first one?
Yeah.
That sounds good to me.
Easy peasy. Gleipnir online for the Monkey King as well, as Copy's going to show himself mid. Get tornadoed for his troubles. And BB Team now kind of on the defensive, it seems. Despite having this very aggressive lineup. I mean, just looking at it.
Yep.
You got the Beastmaster, Enchantress, Activator of the Caudal, obviously Invoker. Depends on how you build it, but then Alk. Kind of a hero that wants to farm at the early stage, but then ramps up really fast. So we have a TP in from Miero.
Nice reaction.
Quick blink from Gunner.
Yeah.
Just top might get denied.
The thing is, if you look at BB Team's, the way this team approaches fights, you're saying it's aggressive, and it comes from the nature of, okay, Beastmaster's going to find a flank with a Roar, or Invoker's going to come out of Ghostwalk and start the fights, but something that Nouns have really accomplished with their draft is they're making it difficult to find skirmishes on your terms. You're always paranoid about an invisible Nyx. There's always Monkey King that can be sitting in the trees. Chen's creeps are constantly pushing out waves at like low risk and high reward. So while it is an aggressive lineup, the way this usually works is that you take over a part of the map and then you constrict the enemy team. But they haven't been able to do it. They've taken 1 tower, minute 18. So I think that doesn't really fit the bill for what this lineup was hoping to do at this point. I think if I'm Nouns, I'm pretty satisfied with still having 2 tier 1s up at this point. And if they can keep defending them a little bit longer, they're starting to approach some really nice timings. Now Yuma's going to get his Shard plus Gleipnir completed on the Monkey King. Centaur is halfway to the pipe. And Chen's Greaves.
Spike Carapace can always stun Nightfall because of the Radiance.
Yeah.
Did not opt to use it there. Would have been a tough kill either way, as we're going to see the Tornado.
Nice damage onto Copy.
Into the Chaos Meteor. Not enough for a kill as Lelis.
Want to dive though, they see Lelis.
He is spotted. That's a very tanky Invoker right now, and Lelis slowed to a crawl thanks to the Solar Bind. Yuma's coming up with the Gleipnir, has his Wukong's command. A beautiful Boundless Strike onto 2 as well. They get 1. It looks like they'll get the second support as well, although the force staff to the other side, the Ice Wall, slowing them as well. As Miero actually in no man's land, focusing everything on this Monkey King. Now GPK and Nightfall are there to assist. The Aegis is down. Concoction hits 2. See, axes will continue to be thrown out. Yuma with the Shard already, it seems. will go to the end of the Boundless Strike to disengage completely. So in the end, it's an Aegis for 2 supports.
Oh, is it over though? Lelis is scouting. I mean, his teammates are relatively far away. I guess they don't really have anyone who can smoke up and connect on this, but Lelis still hounding him. Seems like he has some sort of plan, but that kill isn't really possible.
No.
All right, he's literally just scouting. Nobody cares.
He has a Dagon, but yeah, these 2 targets are, without a +1, it's not happening.
So Lelis with a very interesting inventory right now. 2
He's on a sentry. Tornadoed up. And they dust just for good measure. Lelis heals up a bit with the Dagon, but it's not happening. BB team all over that.
Also fortunate enough on him to find Whisper of the Dread, which is easily the best neutral item you can possibly get on Nyx. Getting the extra mana pool, but of course the 8% spell damage amp is incredible on this hero. See if it makes a difference at some point. But yeah, BB team, they stabilize once again. And as with most Alchemist games, this is going to become a matter of, do you hit your stride in the next 10 minutes when Alk is, in theory, generally peaking over enemy cores? Because I don't think this is a game where Alk ultra late. This hero has become better, for sure. It used to be very polarizing. It's like either you win by minute 40 or you lose most of the time. Now that Alk scales better, I still think his core matchups in this game are really rough. Razor is tough. Monkey King is a very rough one later on. And as you mentioned, Spike Carapace is actually a really big problem.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the, like, back in the day before, I got to hold that thought. Tormentor will be taken out. I don't think Nouns are going to want to stick around here. Fly will get the shard, although Saika, Mr. Nightfall, will jump in and they get 2 kills. BB team ready for that, as Copy's going to have to BKB and run away. That is really unfortunate for Nouns, and now a little bit of momentum for Bowling Ball team.
Yeah, that's a good hit. Sure, they do get the Tormentor themselves. That would have been even better if BB were 10 seconds earlier, but still, I think they're very happy with this. They're going to convert into Tier 2, and this is what I was looking for from their team. I was saying 3 minutes ago that they'd only taken 1 tower. Well, guess what? If you take a tower per minute now, you'll catch up pretty quickly.
Yep.
They've got 4 down now. Yeah,
momentum definitely on BB team's side. Of course, 3K lead with an Alchemist. Who knows what that means these days?
True.
And Nouns definitely still in the game. And yeah, back to that Nyx conversation. I mean, back in the day, Cinderin, Nyx was basically picked as a counter to Radiance heroes to force them to buy something else, or Batrider. That was like his identity. That's it.
And Ember.
Yeah, true. Ember was also a good one. So with the Flame Guard.
And Puck. And Storm.
Several heroes. Quite good. Fly remembers this time.
He was actually
have
good
to
against
ponder it in
OD
the grave.
as well. And sometimes you picked it against Lina too.
Okay. Keep going. Don't stop now.
But yeah.
Okay, gets the tornado off on the Copy. Cold snap into the ice wall. Man, he just cannot go anywhere.
All right, the pace is really picking up now. This is when Nouns need to keep their calm and find some sort of move as a team. Otherwise, BB is going to keep doing this to them. Because now that BB team are owning 2/3 of the map, this is the true challenge that I think Nouns did a really good job delaying until this point, but now it's coming for them. So what are you going to do? Are you going to take the fight head on? Are you going to try to find some sort of skirmishes with Nyx plus Monkey King where you hope that they spread out at some point and you find the straggler? Maybe Alchemist is farming alone, which is the case right now with Psyche farming Ancients. That would have been an awesome time to strike with those 2 in a smoke. I think those are the 2 basic options, is doing a little ganking squad with the 2 of them or looking for a full-on team fight. And it looks like team fight is the name of the game here. At least they're going to smoke up 4 of them, and Razor's about to spawn.
Well, BB team will be getting a shard to their name. It'll be save. By the way, we didn't even mention, he did go for the Solar Bind. That's it. The last game, he did go for Recall, but that was
specifically with Storm.
Yeah, Storm Spirit specialty.
With Storm. I don't think he will do it under any other circumstances, actually. I think it's specifically only with that hero that Save will choose that facet. So, and Solar Bind is a really good ability. The magic resistance reduction has nice synergy with Beastmaster as well as Invoker, so he's offering a lot of burst together for them. Even Alchemist benefits slightly from it with the Radiance, but... Speaking of Radiance, has any other hero this tournament bought that item than Alk?
Ooh,
I don't think
that.
I've seen it. So this item has really fallen out of favor. You go back a year, we had like 10
they
different heroes.
spot Lelis again.
Yeah.
He gets off the spike Carapace, but it's only a matter of time before he's brought down. And we hear a roar go off, and that's a dead Centaur.
Oh yeah, we've had Brewmaster by Radiance.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, basketball team is going to try to go high ground now. They have 2 kills to their name. It's a 3v5. Can Nouns defend? They're going to use the fortification. As Saika, Mr. Nightfall with the alacrity is something to fear.
This is just a lane. This lineup pushes
so.
stupidly fast, and yeah, as we
timing
said.
with his AC as well.
Yep. Couldn't have done it any better. There's so little margin for error when you play against Alchemist Beastmaster. In these mid-game situations, either you win the team fight, you have buybacks, or you lose your base. And now BB team can take a little bit of a chill. They can prepare for the next Roche if they want to. The early respawn is actually that's the guaranteed respawn in 2 seconds. So if they were to scout the top half right now, they are in a very dominant position to just get this Roche completely uncontested. They have awesome vision down the lane. Fly's doing his best to get some sort of control up here, but definitely not looking too great. It's together with Yuma. If Yuma gets caught here, they lose Roche. All right, they'll both TP out, so they're just conceding the area, which is effectively just giving BB a straight line to Roshan now.
Yeah, well, Yuma finally gets his BKB, so the position 1 and 2 for Nouns now have it. We'll see how much difference that's going to make at this stage, considering they've already lost Barracks at the 26-minute mark. Usually does not go well for a team that is occurring to, believe it or not, Cinderin.
I believe it. Oh, this could be big, though.
Centaur going for an Aghanim Scepter. We'll have to talk about that in a moment.
Amplify damage rune for Yuma.
They need it.
They actually need this, I think. So
they're making their way over to the north side.
One of these
Roche
trees is not
up.
like the other.
Well, he's not a tree, so...
Not anymore. He was a moment ago.
Okay.
You need to pay attention when I'm saying things.
Concoction, Nightfall. He's going to try to run into the smoke. Might be stunning himself. Mantas it off, actually. Good timing. GPK stuck on the high ground. He's going to get Gleipnired. There's the Wukong's command, but he gets force-staffed out of it.
On the commandants instantly.
And the Wukong's, yeah, he didn't take the other facets, so it's done.
Oh, boy.
And so is Fly. Just
good.
like that, it's a 5 versus 4. They're going to try to force this fight in the pit. A double impale into the double hoof stop with Lelis doing a ton of damage as well. Miero getting really low. Boundless strike into a double kill. BB team, they're going to use a buyback onto Mr. Nightfall. Yuma, oh boy. He's put inside the pit, and it looks like this will be the death of him. So BB team having to expend a buyback, but they still end up winning the fight in a way, and they'll secure second Roche.
Yeah, that's why they call them buyback team.
That's right.
They will get this Aegis onto Psychic. That was, honestly, that was a really good outcome for Nouns with how that started. I thought they were just going to get wiped. They threw Wukong's command out for nothing. Chen died first, so they're missing some of the auras in the fight as well. And then they still managed to get a really nice meeting of stuns.
Gunnar, don't die. We need to see the workhorse before the game is over. I beg of you.
He is
gonna pop the pipe.
not
low
looking too
to
hot,
a crawl.
Shan.
He's dead. What's that?
He's not looking too hot.
Yeah, it's not good.
Or maybe he is looking too
Oh boy, Beach Boys team is really on a roll in this game number 1. But hey, we talked about this early game, Cinderin. If there's any team that will throw away a gigantic lead, it's this team.
I need to see this one before I believe it.
Okay. They're going to try to go high ground for Barracks number 2. This is the breaking Barracks team now. They're going to put down the Roche banner and apply a lot of pressure here. Remember, Centaur still dead for 15 seconds. Gunnar does have buyback, but I think you just give this up, surely. Although, they will use Fort on this. But they will still give it up, it seems.
Yeah, BB team have just really... It's been really impressive to watch in this game how a part of the game that I think both the panel as well as us thought was going to be the hardest one, Nouns did a relatively good job at handling, and then BB team just really kicked it up a notch and completely. These last 10 minutes, they have just run the whole show. So the timing maybe came 4 or 5 minutes later than expected, but the ultimate result, unless Nouns can somehow pull a heroic comeback here, is going to be the same, which is just one more lane to go for those Megas. They still have the Aegis. BKB almost completed for Saika. It's coming out now for the Invoker. So that's 2 new problems that nouns have to face. And while they do have decent physical damage between the Razor and the Monkey King, I don't think it's going to be enough that they don't have to burn through their entire BKB durations themselves. And that's when Invoker is the king of the game.
Yeah.
This hero is, by many, considered to be the best hero in Dota, at least historically, when BKBs run out. Like, just the amount of control you have, you can completely dictate the fight with your arsenal of spells. And in a game like this, having max Wex for your Deafening Blast is amazing against 2 right-click cores. Ice Wall, of course, against chasing heroes, you name it. You know, they have the whole package. So nouns, last-ditch effort coming up.
Yeah,
looking for a flank.
Into an Aegis, mind you. They're heading towards the south, trying to backstab. Save would be a pretty decent pickoff. They're gonna run into Toronto Tokyo instead, and he's pretty damn hard to kill, not gonna lie. Spike Carrier has already used. There's a Wukong's command. Nightfall just casually walks out of it. Lelis and Gunnar super low as the roar goes off onto the Razor, and this is just getting out of control in favor of BB Team. Yuma, the BKB TP, will be successful, but the rest of his team are dropping like flies.
So we'll fly.
No pun intended on that one for once.
And speaking of bugs, let's kill the last one. Oh, I guess flies, you know.
Yeah, Lelis is dead to the hands of the Bumblebee team, and another buyback comes out, this time from Lelis, but I think the game just ends here, surely. For those mega creeps at the very least.
And they have to throw every buyback at them here. Centaur has to buyback too. They can't wait 15 seconds.
But the Aghanim Scepter, Cinderin, we need to see the workhorse.
We really don't.
The cart would change everything. They get the range racks. There's the initiation from Gunnar into the Gleipnir, but now Gunnar, it's just, he just melts, man. He just absolutely melts. Already with the beefy Centaur dead, this will be mega creeps for BB Team. They can just casually do whatever they want now. And, oh, they actually, I think they broke the tree there, so Yuma stunned for an eternity, as GG's called. BB Team all over this game number 1.
Yeah. They continue their streak against nouns. As was talked about on the panel, these teams did meet in the first group stage, which was honestly the most one-sided game of the entire